Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. What's going on, guys? Now, the WBA has rejected Daniel Jacobs' offer. Daniel Jacobs and his team basically sent a proposal to the WBA because, as you guys know, Gennady Golovkin, based on the rules, because he's a champion, so Gennady Golovkin, based on the rules, is supposed to get a 75-25 split with Jacobs. Jacobs obviously wasn't feeling that. He doesn't think that just fighting arguably one of the best fighters in boxing and getting 25% of the purse is enough. He wanted 40%, and he made a request to the WBA to try to get 40% of the purse. The WBA has since rejected that purse, and now the negotiating still continues. And honestly, the fight is in question. And with or without Jacobs, December 10th, Gennady Golovkin will be in the ring at Madison Square Garden fighting somebody. So Jacobs, it really doesn't matter if he fights or not, fights Golovkin or not. But let me say this: Daniel Jacobs, right? He's coming off of a career high win against Peter Quillin, right? But let's be honest here. When you look at his career, right, and I'm gonna pull up his box right as I'm talking, but when you look at his career, he had the career-defining win. I mean, I don't want to say career-defining, but yeah, his best win of his career was against Peter Quillin, a guy that a lot of people don't really regard that highly. Some people do, or they did at one point, but most people, for the most part, don't really regard Peter Quillin that highly. Now, when you look at his resume, right, when you look at the guys he's fought the likes of guys like Ishe Smith and Jared Fletcher, Caleb Truax, C-class guys, upper C-class, not really, world beaters. He didn't really fight a lot of great fighters. He fought Sergio Mora 2 times. In the first fight, he got knocked down by punching Sergio Mora, right? So Peter Quillin is the best name he has on his resume, and being that was the quote-unquote battle for Brooklyn, which honestly is hilarious that they made such a big deal about that, because the facts are Peter Quillin being a Brooklyn fighter, Daniel Jacobs being a Brooklyn fighter. That fight didn't sell out at the Barclays Center, okay? The fight didn't sell at the Barclays Center. It was one of Showtime's worst rated fights that year. I think it did 386,000 views, which is ridiculous because Romo Gonzalez did about 500,000 more than that, and he fights in a small weight class. He doesn't speak no English, and he did that on a day where there was a bunch of college football and baseball was on, and UFC had a card, and they still did those numbers with all that competition. And he only got paid, I think, I don't remember, 500,000, 600,000. It wasn't a whole lot of money for that fight against Quadras. And you have Jacobs getting paid $1.5 million against Peter Quillin. They couldn't even sell the Barclays Center, and the ratings were piss poor. So who does he think he is, right? Honestly, who does he think he is to request 40%? Because honestly, look, the reality is, if Golovkin beats him, which many people expect him to do, it does nothing for him. All it does is get another little name that's going to be an afterthought on his resume. Really, that's all it is. So it does nothing for him. But on the other hand, if Jacobs beats Golovkin, oh my God, he would be looking at $5 million paydays, $6 million paydays, huge paydays, and he would actually get some validation as a top level fighter, because while he did beat Peter Quillin, while some people do regard him as a top level middleweight, I personally don't. I want to see the fight because I think it's a good fight, but I don't see him as a top 3 middleweight. He has more to gain than Golovkin does in this case, and I think he should just take whatever they give him. Odds are the WBA, because they rejected it already. They're not going to regard any. They're not going to accept anything over what the rules mandate, and the rules mandate that the mandatory challenger, being Jacobs, if he's going to fight Golovkin, the split is 75-25. So he's not going to get 30. He's not getting 35. He needs to stop with his little entitlement. Golovkin has been their champion for 6 years. So the odds of him getting any higher in the purse is very, very slim. And honestly, he has no leverage, because even in his biggest fight, in the quote-unquote battle for Brooklyn, that did terrible ratings. It was one of the worst rated fights for Showtime, and they got him and Quillen both got overpaid, both of them. And when you look at the rest of his resume, the only other guy that people would regard at any level at a high level outside of Quillen would be Dmitry Pirog, and Pirog flattened him. So you look at the fights that mattered in Jacobs' career, he's 1-1 in them. So I mean, it is what it is, man. He has more to gain if he really believes in himself, like he says he does. Take the fight. You beat Golovkin. Golovkin will probably rematch him. So in the rematch, you can ask for money. You can say, look, I beat you. I'm the A side now. You give me $8 million. You give me $9 million. That's how you do it. But what we're seeing here is a definite fear factor from Jacobs, a definite level of entitlement that we see from a lot of these Al Haymon fighters. Who, by the way, another thing I want to say about this too, a lot of these Al Haymon fighters, because Al Haymon has stuck his neck out for a lot of these fighters, paying them ridiculous purses to fight bumps. And now, like, PBC's money is running low, and it's time for these guys to step up and fight the more dangerous fights and kind of stick their necks out for Al Haymon, and now they're not doing that. So, I mean, goes to show you, man, there's only so much a promoter can do. Al Haymon's done his job. I don't think the fighters are doing their jobs, and that's what it is. They've gotten spoiled, and that's just the nature of it. So, that's the news. WBA rejects Daniel Jacobs' request for 40% of the purse. He will have to get 25%, or there is no fight. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think this fight will still happen? Let me know in the comments down below. Take the time to subscribe, and you can love me or you can hate me. But I'm just a kid from Dania.